Hi, didn't see you there. Have you heard of Sir Isaac Newton? He discovered 5 laws, and today we're going to be discussing the first 2. So, in order to understand Newton's first law of motion, you first have to understand forces and what they are. So the best way to demonstrate this is we're going to have our daredevil, or stunt devil, Ace Ventura, drive his car from 0 to 88 miles an hour and 0 again. And how he does this is he puts his foot on the gas, and that again applies a force throughout the car, which causes it to increase its acceleration. But when he hits 88 miles an hour, he then puts his foot on the brake, which causes it to slow down and decrease its acceleration. So as you can see, the forces he will be applying to the car increase and decrease the car's speed. Newton's first law of motion: an object at rest tends to stay at rest unless it's acted on by an unbalanced force such as me. Wow, that's amazing. One key point with Newton's first law of motion is something that's really cool and fascinating. It's called inertia. The main thing about inertia is that it's a resistance of an object to a change in motion. Notice how this is a foam basketball, and this right here is a pigskin basketball. We're going to drop them at the same time, and what do you think is going to happen? I'll give you 3 seconds to answer. All right. They hit at the same time. Now, do you know why that happened? Because the basketball is going to have a harder time changing its position in space compared to the foam football, which is lighter. That's pretty neat. So, I'm soon going to be participating in an Olympic book reading contest. And finishing this book, I slide it across the desk, and I read this book really quickly, and I slide it as well. But as I slide them, why do they not keep going off the table? You know, I've been wondering this for a while, and the more I read, I realize just as hard as I push it, the further it'll go, but it'll always come to a stop. And I learned that it's actually due to something called sliding friction, which is a force that acts upon an object that's moving that forces it to slow down, which is why when I slide it, it will always stop. Oh, hey, I just finished reviewing some research, and it turns out that we've covered just about everything to deal with Newton's first law of motion. But don't worry, we still have his second law of motion to discuss, so we're all set. Newton's second law of motion says that the heavier an object is, the less far it'll go when pushed. So, to demonstrate that, we're going to first push the cart and film and watch how far it goes when I push it. And then we're going to put we're just going to put me on it, and then we're going to push it, and we're going to see how far I go. All right. That's fantastic.
Oh, didn't see you there. So one of the things that we're also learning is how mass affects how far an object will travel when pushed. As you can see, Drew here, he's got a lot of mass. So whenever I push him, he won't go as far.
Whoa, this ball is huge. It's not actually, but this is just part of the thing about physics, is that things can change at any time. That's what science is. I'm glad you tuned in for this episode where we discuss Newton's first and second law of motion. I hope you visit us next week, where we'll be talking about the third, fourth, and fifth. Have a good one, guys.